back to the channel. My name is Chloe Taylor, and today we have another pick a card for all of you. Today I'm doing something special. Just like I did in our last reading, I am infusing this with some intention candles. I chose to go all the same color this time, and you'll see why when you get to your pile, why I decided to do it that way. But if you've never done a pick a card, let me go ahead and explain it to you. Those of you that already know how this works, the links or the timestamps will be down below and in the comments for you. But for those of you that do not know how this works, basically we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just want you to pause this video for a moment and really focus on each pile that is here and try to make a decision. So a lot of the ways that I like to do this, though you can do it any way you want to, is if I'm looking at a pick a card, I will sometimes say the number 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and I will kind of see intuitively what is really calling to me. Another thing I like to do if I'm having a hard time is I will actually look at the timestamps down below, and I will see if any of the numbers in any of the timestamps correspond to any of my lucky numbers. That usually will really help me. And so just go ahead and pause this, take a moment, and just remember that you will never choose wrong. What is for you is never going to pass you. And sometimes people find that more than one pile is actually calling to them or resonating with them. So it's also not uncommon to have multiple piles. So just go ahead and pause the video, and then let's go ahead and get started. All right, pile number 1, you know the drill if you watched my last pick a card. Basically, we are doing a little bit of intention candle setting before we get into the pile, and this candle, I chose black candles for this reading because right now the world is really in an all-around crisis, you could say, or there's just a lot going on, and black candles really do symbolize that of protection. And so these candles are for you, for your family, for anyone that you are supporting right now that is doing strong and big acts of bravery. This is to really keep them protected. So I want you to now envision either somebody that you know personally, or a group of people that you know personally, or maybe it's for your family or for yourself. I want you to hold that person or those people in your mind and really claim this blessing of protection upon them. So we're going to go ahead and just get this set up for you, and I will be letting this candle burn all the way down on my altar space for you, so that energy will go out into the universe and they will be divinely protected. So we're going to go ahead and just put this up in the corner of the video so you can still see it. I want you to still be able to see it. So we're going to go ahead and have that there. It looks like we have a really strong flame going, so we love that. And let's go ahead and actually get into your reading. Oh, right when I said that, I have an incense going, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but all the smoke right when I put this up into the corner just started coming straight at the camera, and I don't have any windows open. There is no draft, but to me that is a huge symbol that that protection is coming towards whoever you have envisioned. So that's really beautiful. But let's go ahead and take a look here. So first and foremost, we do have the card that is the tiger, and the tiger resembles a lot of things, but I am going to actually be, for this reading directly from Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals, and I will link this book down below for you if you want to get it for yourself. But the tiger symbolizes, first of all, earth and water, and also the colors black, orange, and white. Tiger symbolizes strength, beauty, and uniqueness. Its stripes are also patterned in its skin. So if you were to shave a tiger, it would still have stripes. This means you are distinctive, one of a kind, beautiful, individual with an incredible amount of strength and willpower. Tiger has round pupils, sees in color, and appears when you need to see the true colors of someone. This means you're able to see with more perception than most. You trust your instincts, you're a strong leader, exceptional business person, and often run your own company. While you don't have any problems delegating tasks, and ultimate control stays with you. When you see something you want, you go after it with all that you've got. Tiger means that others see you as sexy and passionate. You're a big flirt and go out of your way to make others feel better about themselves. But you never lead someone on if you have no intention of following through. Tiger loves to swim, which means you're probably drawn to watery activities. It assists when you need to make plans and carry them out. Tiger gives you the courage to stay the path. So I'm getting the sense that you yourself are someone that is just a really strong, intuitive leader, and you are extremely unique. And because of that, there are people that are listening to you, whether it's in your community, online, in your friendship circles. And I also think this is a really strong indication that you are a very good judge of character. So I love that. We also have the Hanged Man for you. We have the Two of Wands, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles. So what this says to me, first of all, with the Hanged Man, this really goes back to what I was saying about you being somebody who is a really fantastic judge of character, because I feel like the Hanged Man or Hanged Woman, or the Hanged One, if you will, is really here to kind of step back, take in the whole picture of what's happening, and you're able to make really educated and like purely analyzed judgments before you actually make any steps towards anything in life, whether that is something that you're working towards personally or some changes that you're trying to make in your community. And I really feel like you are this person because of what you've been through. And especially when we read from this deck, which all the decks that I show today will be linked down below as well in the order of appearance if you'd like to get them for yourself. But the Hanged One, in this deck in particular, it really reminds me of the Cask of Amontillado. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. I believe it is either Edgar Allan Poe or Shakespeare who wrote that. I want to say it might be Edgar Allan Poe for some reason. But I remember in this story, it really talks about a lot of things. There's a lot of symbolism. I'm going to spare you the details, but the big plot point in this is that this person actually gets bricked in and basically dies by being bricked in. But if you see here, even though yes, this is a skeleton because this deck is kind of spooky, you see though that the bricks have been removed. And it looks like brick by brick. So the bricks have been removed, things have been revealed, but you've had time to really sit in there and think about it and think about your actions. Maybe you're someone that has been sitting and learning and listening and changing your perspective. So I love seeing that. With the Two of Wands, I feel like you're not someone who currently is ready to take a lot of strong action in your life right now. You're very much in the planning phase. So this could be, again, because it's generalized, this could be for anything. A lot of times it talks about just trying to manifest something into your life, and you are kind of sitting back and actually, I don't know if you're waiting for an answer to come to you, which could be, especially because we have this like Ouija board being depicted. Maybe you're waiting for your higher self to come through, or a spirit guide, or it's almost like you're waiting for more information before you venture out into the world. So I do feel that you are very much in the planning stage, but I think because you are taking your time and moving very slowly right now, you will experience the richness that this has to offer. It's like on the other side of that, with whatever you're plotting or creating or doing right now, it is going to be fulfilling, because we have the Nine of Pentacles here, and the Nine of Pentacles is this beautiful, almost goddess-esque woman-like figure, and she's standing in a garden that is in full bloom. She has a bird up on her hand, and she looks like she is just enjoying life in all of its vitality. You know, she also is in full bloom with these flowers that adorn her hair, and the sky is a really beautiful blue and pink as well. Like, this is just a gorgeous image. I love this. And I feel like this is her really enjoying the richness of life, because it's not necessarily what you're going to find in a store. It's not necessarily what you're going to find. You know, you're not going to be able to buy this kind of richness and this kind of happiness. It's honestly got to come from within and from nature itself. And it can be monetary, but I feel like until you recognize that your life is already so full of so much. Excuse me, I had to burp. Fun fact, whenever something like that happens when I'm channeling, it's usually because the energy is moving through me. It's interesting. But with these pentacles, it's like you will have that, but you almost have to come to this realization first that your life is already fantastic. You already have so much in your life to celebrate. And when you come to realize that, that is when the richness, the material, the monetary is actually going to come in. I also feel like some of you, because you've been plotting and planning right now and just kind of hanging back a little bit, I feel like you're about to have the $1 million idea, the breakthrough idea, the idea that's going to carry you into this. So I love that. We also have Keepers of the Earth for you. Let's see if I can get these up here in frame. Keepers of the Earth. And we also have the Crumbling. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so for some of you, the crumbling is literally what's happening right now in the world. If you're watching this as it's going up, or maybe this is just your immediate world. The world is just... it's what are you holding on to? You're being asked right now to use your discernment and to sit with yourself, and, you know, really potentially some of you are also needing to establish better spiritual practices. That's what this Two of Wands is really saying to me, especially from this deck. But it's like you're being asked to sit with discomfort. You're being asked to sit with the things that you're clinging so hard to. And some of you, a message that's coming through right now, not everybody, but some of you, I got the word expectation. So for some of you, this is extremely personal, and you need to sit and ask yourself why you put so much expectation on everyone around you or anyone around you. I think honestly, I'm also getting this feeling of anger. This feeling of anger that somebody has maybe done something that upset you or hurt your feelings, and you are so angry and you want them to pay for this. And I feel like, again, this is a very like personal, for whoever this message is for, it's extremely personal. It's not like global, but it's almost like somebody has wronged you and you want them to make it better. But the reality of the situation is what they have done has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them, where they are in their life, and where the things that they have learned and the experiences that they've had, they feel that need to project onto you. And the best thing that you can do is not cling on to this apology. Don't expect it. Don't wait for it. Just let it go. Let it go. And that person may actually indeed apologize, but they also may not. And it's up to you to forgive. And that doesn't mean forget. That doesn't mean that because you're going to forgive that you need to allow this person to come back into your life and you need to be a doormat. Absolutely not. You forgive because it will give you the peace and the freedom that you desire right now. I feel like for a lot of you, there's something really heavy on you. Somebody's really hurt you. And ultimately, you have to push them out of your mind. You have to move in a way. I mean, we are not here for toxic positivity. I need to make that very clear. We are not here for toxic positivity. So, feel the feelings. If you need to be angry. But ultimately, it's coming to this place, taking your time, feeling through it so that you can release it and move on with your life. And you will have better armor on yourself because of that. Because of what you've experienced, you will have even better discernment and you will have even better judgment of character. Man, that judgment of character has come through so freaking strong in this reading. So we also have Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So I feel like the reason for some of you that this has hurt so bad, this great crumbling in your life, or somebody has hurt you, is because this is somebody that maybe has been in your life for a long time. This could even be a childhood friend. This could be a partner. This could be a family member, and maybe you've been conditioned to believe that, oh, it's family, so you have to accept them. When in reality, no, you don't. That is like one of the oldest tricks in the book of people that mistreat you, just putting that label on it of, oh, they're family, so it's okay, I'll just live with it. You do not have to do that. And I feel like for you, this is losing them. There's this innate fear of abandonment. There's this fear that if you release this or release this person, you are going to be well and truly alone and that you're not lovable. And ultimately, that is not true. You are so lovable. And ultimately, ridding yourself of this person, even just in your mind, is going to make space for better to come in, for people that are aligned with you and your path to come in, for the connections that you desire to come in. It's almost like you need to go through this cleanup in order to make the space for the people that want to shower you in abundance and love and all of their treasures and in all of their wisdom, so that you can come together and share in that. And I got this quote just came out in my mind, and some of you might get a kick out of this, but I just heard like the Mean Girls quote come into my head of, did you just sit around and drink awesome shooters, and did you listen to awesome music, and did you just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness? I feel like those are the people, like, obviously those people were not very nice. They weren't really friends, but I feel like those are the people that you're going to make connections with. And your ancestors, your guides, your angels, they want you to know that when you clear out this space, everything that you've been asking for is right on the other side of that. So we have two more cards. We have Bring Love into the Situation. Ooh, with the new moon in Aquarius. Man, I should have said that. I felt the word Aquarius before I even put this down. And then we have Your Hard Work is Paying Off with the new moon in Capricorn. Excuse me. Let me actually pull these up a little. Okay, so with Bring Love into the Situation, also I apologize, my air kicked on, so it's making the flames dance a little crazy. Or the flame, I said flames because I have a couple candles for myself lit back here that you can't see. So that's not, I mean, I guess you could say, I mean, it still could be, but I feel like right now it's because of the air. So with Bring Love into the Situation, new moon in Aquarius, this is kind of what I was talking about, bringing love for yourself into the situation. But also, I do believe that eventually this person or these people, you will come to a place of forgiving them and having love for them. And I know that that probably sounds nuts and impossible right now with where you are, based on the energy that I'm feeling from this. I feel like you think that this is impossible now. And it doesn't mean that you're going to invite them in and be friends with them or be in a relationship with them again. It just means that eventually you will be able to thank them for the good memories internally or externally, and then move on. And you will be able to get back to a place of having love for them, but not allowing them to do what they've done. And I also feel like this is a lot about bringing love into the situation for yourself. And something to remember about Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius will quench the thirst, is really how I picture that, because the water bearer, that's what they do. They are the bringer of water, the water bearer, right? And so I feel like maybe you've been thirsty for so long for a connection that means more to you. And I really do believe that that connection is coming. And we already had the new moon in Aquarius. But we are going through Saturn in Aquarius right now, and that's a really big astrological event that's going to be happening. It already is happening, but it will be here for the next like 2.5 years or so. Before it moves on into the sign of Pisces. But so we do have a big uprising of Aquarius energy right now, and Aquarius rules the house of friendship. So I feel like for a lot of you, this will be new friendships, and the new moons do represent the new, so new friendships. And then we have your hard work is paying off with new moon in Capricorn. I think a lot of you have really been doing the work. A lot of you have been doing the shadow work, the shadow integration. A lot of you have also been building a business or building something new and creative, especially in these crazy times where some of you maybe have been at home more than you thought you would be. And so you've had time to cultivate something new. And the universe just wants to remind you that you're going in the right direction. Your hard work is paying off, and that you got it. And ultimately, you are completely on the right track. Do not forget, I think a closing message that I'm feeling is that please do not forget your uniqueness. Please do not allow someone else to snuff out your uniqueness right now, because you are unique and you came into this life unique. Each and every one of us did, but you in particular, you came into, sorry. Ooh, she got emotional here. You are so incredibly unique. And no one is going to be able to present things in the way that you present them. The world needs your special gift, your community, your friends, the people that you are going to touch, even if it's a small or a large amount of people. They need to hear, see, and feel you, because you are so unique. It's like you're an anomaly. And I feel like you really will quench the thirst of many. Not sure who that message was for, but dang, y'all needed to hear it. So I think that's what I have for you in closing. Please remember, if you want to purchase any of these decks that I have shown, links will be down below for you. And also, please, 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 if you are able to, do not donate to me. Donate to the Black Lives Matter movement. I will leave some links down below. And if you cannot donate, please consider signing some petitions. I just really want to make sure that we get the word out there. So share it with your communities, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Have the discussions that we need to be having right now, even when it's scary, even if your voice breaks, even if it's something that makes you really uncomfortable. Stand up for what you believe in and share, please. And I love you all so much. I will continue to burn this protection candle until it has burned all the way out on its own. And that protection, please claim that blessing into your life of protection. And I love you so much. I will see you in a future video. Bye. All right, pile number 2, you are up. Now, just as we did in our last reading, we are doing a little bit of intention candles to start out with. We'll get to the reading in just a moment. And I chose black candles for this reading because black candles actually symbolize protection. And right now, as the world is kind of in chaos, I felt that it would be best to bless each and every person and their families or people that you know, anyone and everyone that is out there fighting for justice, no matter if you are doing it in person or from your keyboard, whatever it is that you're doing. I believe in all of us needing that divine protection right now. So the black candles specifically are for protection. So I just want you for a moment to think about someone or a group of people or yourself or anyone that you feel right now needs divine protection. And it could be, like I said, a large group of people. It could be protesters for you, whoever it is. I just want you to think of someone or a group or yourself and just really send breathe deeply into your heart for just a moment. Put your hand over your heart. Just breathe deeply into your heart. Just imagine this person being protected, having a bubble around them, a shield. And as we light this candle, just keep that person in mind or those people in mind. And then I'm going to let this candle burn all the way down on my altar space for you or for them. And that will really send that energy out into the universe of this divine protection. So let's go ahead and light this. Also, don't do this at home, kids. We got that blowtorch today. I couldn't find any of my other lighters. So we have our candle going. There is the air conditioning. It's too hot where I live right now to not have the air on. So for part of the reading, when the air kicks on and off, the flame might go a little crazy. I just don't want those of you that read candle flames to think that it's not a draft. The air is currently on. It will kick off eventually. So that's why the flame is kind of dancing like that. It's not necessarily. I mean, I still believe Spirit's here with us, but just so you know, the flame's going a little wild because the air's on. All right, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what we have for you. So first and foremost, we have the ant. And the ant, so I'm actually going to be reading the Spirit Guide animal cards. That's what these are considered. And all my decks that I talk about today, I will link them down below in order of appearance. So if you want to get any of the decks or candles for yourself, all of that information will be down below. But the ant, I'm going to be reading from Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals, just to kind of get the reading started off for us. And then we'll get into the rest of the cards. But I don't think I explained this very well in pile number 1, but this could be just something that you dream about, maybe ants, or you see them, or you just maybe need the message that they carry. So just, like I said, or like I have said in the past, this could be a universal sign for you. So let's just see what the ant has to teach us today. What wisdom. So the ant corresponds to earth, the colors black and red. An ant communicates through pheromones, touch, and sound, which means to listen to your own senses as you go about your work. Ant means you're very adaptive and motivated, which ensures success. You take action and make decisions based on what you feel will be the best for the group instead of what is best for you. Ant is assigned to work harder to accomplish your goals or an indication that you need a break to rest and reorganize. Ant means you're an achiever with a team mentality. Oh, I knew that was coming because ants always work in a team. With a team mentality who sees projects through to their completion. You're industrious, creative, and patient. You are one of the whole and must trust in both your ability to get the job done and in the abilities of those who you work with. You prefer structure and order to chaos and teach others in the colony through tandem running. So an ant's appearance means to look for someone in need of help. Ant means that if you've been isolating yourself, now is the time to get back in touch with others. If a queen ant appears to you, it means you are either in the role of a leader or a parent, or you are about to step into that role. Wow, that was a really powerful message, especially I feel like for what we're going through right now, that you're like one of a whole and you are divinely needed right now for the cause, and that it's also time to reconnect with those that you have not maybe been connecting with. That was a huge message. It's interesting. Especially because I just did pile number 1. So just interesting. So under that now, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Queen of Wands. And we also have the 8 of Swords. Ooh, okay. So the Wheel of Fortune, to me, I feel like a lot of you feel very out of control, which I think that is so normal for what we're going through right now collectively. You feel very out of control. We don't really know what's happening. I feel like a lot of karma is actually coming up collectively, not necessarily for any one person, but it is like the world's karma, if that makes sense. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is just like a very uncertain card. It can be really for the betterment, and that's not what I want to say. Spirit literally just tapped me and was like, no. Wheel of Fortune, it's confusing because we don't always know where it is. It can be on the top, it can be on the bottom, because it's a wheel. It's always churning. Sometimes we are at our highest high and then we have our lowest low. So I feel like we are just really in this unpredictable time right now, and I think you're really feeling that. I also feel, though, we do have a Queen of Wands here. I think you're someone that's really passionate, and you are a leader. Like, even though you are one of the whole, you are someone who is a leader in your community. You're somebody who is a leader in your life and to your family and to your friends. And either that, or you are about to be stepping into this role of leadership that maybe you've never found yourself in. And I want you now to understand that you don't need to be scared. I feel like you are really afraid right now, and you're someone that is struggling with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, if you've never heard that phrase, basically it's like you know something, you've done something, you've researched something, you're really good at something, but when you go to actually do it, or when you go to actually create it, you just don't feel like you have the capability. Or even though there's evidence that you're amazing and magnificent at something, you just totally dim out. You totally dim out all of the things that you know and have learned, and you just start to listen to all of your insecurities and doubts on why you're not smart enough, or why you can't do this, you can't do that. And what I want you to realize is this is a prison of your mind. This isn't real. You are allowing your emotions to overthrow your actual talent. And you are talented. You are a leader in your own right. You do know something about something, and you're gifted. And even though times are uncertain and you're really scared, it is your time to rise up. It is your time to start leading the people around you. And if you feel called and this message is really hitting you in a way, like, do that. Start doing it now. Organize a Discord where you can get together with all of your friends and family members and start talking about things. This could also be for some of you. I feel like I've been feeling very business so far since I've started doing these readings tonight. So I do also feel that for some of you, this is a business venture. Where you are going to need to be very creative. It's a creative endeavor. It could even be like streaming, YouTube, having an art gallery, being just some kind of a freelance artist. Yeah, is there anything else? Photography. Some of you, it's also photography, I heard. But I feel like for you, there's just this fear. It's like, oh, it's not the right time. I'm not allowed to do this thing right now. It's like you don't feel like, and I have to tell you, there's never going to be a right time. There's never going to be a time where you're so prepared and you're so ready to step into this role. You're always going to be afraid. Because you know what? People don't become not afraid. They learn how to work through their fear. The fear is still there. Fear, you need fear. We need fear to survive. It is a survival mechanism to be afraid. But it's persevering through it and doing things in spite of fear, right in the face of fear. Keep going. And I feel like that's a strong message we have coming through for you. We also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. Interesting. Ooh, we also have Lemuria. Ooh, I got chills. I think some of you already know about Lemuria that are here listening to this. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So I don't know too much about Lemuria myself to really explain it to you. But what I do know is it was like heaven on earth, or it is like heaven on earth. And there are a lot of ancient stories that are about something like this existing before. And it's like that is coming back. We're seeding the light to make this again. Wow. Okay. If you pick pile number 2, I think I can almost confidently say that. Do it. Yeah. I can confidently say that I think a lot of you are light workers. I feel like a lot of light workers feel pulled to me for some reason, because I feel like almost every time I read, there's always one pile specifically that talks about light work, always. And here we are again. I mean, these cards are very light worker-esque. This deck in particular, which I'll link down below. This deck in particular does focus a lot on light work, but this one like the whole reading is talking about bringing this. So some of you that are listening to this, you are light workers. And I know you're probably going to ask me, if you've never heard that term, what the heck is a light worker? There are really great definitions about this. I don't have one on hand that is so like specific. I do want to make a video in the future on light work, so let me know down below if that's something you'd want to see. It'd probably be like a sit down chat video talking on different kinds of light workers and kind of what the purpose is. But I feel like a lot of you that are here, you are leaders, but you're light worker leaders, or you're way showers. And you are someone that is here, like even just your existence sheds light on the people around you. Also, if you've ever identified as an empath, I feel like a lot of empaths are also light workers. So, but with Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations and divine plan, I'm like debating on how esoteric I want to be right now. Because I feel like some people are really here for it and some people are like, I don't know about all that. I mean, that's not really the point. Like I said, it's a generalized reading, so I feel like some of you this is going to hit and some of you it's going to be like, what? This lady's crazy. But I do feel compelled to speak about it, so I'm going to. But with being a light worker, it's when you're seeding the light, laying foundations, and you're part of the divine plan, it's basically that in reincarnation terms, you have incarnated at this time on this earth to be somebody who actually is the light, who sheds light, because earth is dark as hell, literally dark as hell. And we have so much corruption and so much that is not okay. And you would have chosen at this time to come down to be a light to the collective. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be somebody who's out there public speaking and writing books and doing all this stuff. I mean, it could be that you are that person, but it also could just be that in your community, you are somebody who just sheds that light and getting back in touch with it. And it's like you are somebody who came here with that divine mission to spread that to people, to raise the collective vibration. And Lumeria, the reason I said that a lot of you, I feel like it's very specific here, because Lumeria is recreating this heaven on earth and making earth this beautiful, peaceful place again, where we have things like world peace. And I feel like you are part of that divine soul mission that is going to bring about that change. So just something to consider. Maybe I've got you thinking. I really probably need to do a sit down video talking about some of this stuff, because I think some people would really like to hear about it. Okay, and the last two cards we have are Prosperity Lies Ahead with the new moon in Taurus, and Hold Your Vision with the fixed moon. So Prosperity Lies Ahead with the new moon in Taurus. I feel like some of you have been wanting to make some really big changes in your life, but you're scared of the financial setback that that's going to cause. You're afraid to leave a job that you don't like. You're afraid to start a new project because you think it won't be fruitful. And I'm here to tell you that if you were waiting for an answer, this is it. Leave the job. And you'll know if I said that and you've been asking if you should leave your job, you'll know that this is the message for you. Not everybody is supposed to leave their job that hears this. Be aware of that. But for some of you, this is the sign you were waiting for. Leave your job. Leave the place that makes you unhappy. Start a new venture that makes you really happy. Especially if you already have something you've been thinking about, and ultimately come up with what it is that you desire for your life and hold on to that vision, because that's going to give you the strength to make the changes that you want to make, to stand up and be someone who creates something, who leads people, who is part of this whole. You have to be part of this vision. And I also feel like a lot of you, I'm getting the message that you're part of a bigger vision that is with a lot of people. You're part of a bigger vision that is going to put you in a group with other people that hold this same vision. And from it, you will see the richness that life has to offer, as well as the prosperity. So I really feel like this reading, we got a little deep. I feel like this reading is not going to be for everyone. Like I'm convinced that a lot of people won't pick number 2 because it was almost too specific. I feel like this was for a smaller group of people. It was very specific, but anywho, I think that is all I have for you in this reading, my loves. Please, again, let me know if you want to see that video on lightwork, way showers, Lumeria, you want me to kind of talk about all that stuff because it's something that I've never really talked about on the channel, but it's stuff that I'm really interested in, and I do identify myself as a light worker, so I would love to share more of that knowledge that I have. And again, please claim this blessing of protection for you, for your loved ones, for people out there. And I do want to ask you in closing, do not donate to me. If this reading spoke to you, please head to the information down below in the description and consider donating to part of the Black Lives Matters movement. I have not, at the time of recording this, selected somewhere that I would like to donate, but I will be. So that link will be down there, and please just consider helping out if you're able. If you're not, please consider signing some petitions. That also helps. Anything helps, spreading the word, spreading awareness. And I love you all so, so, so much, and I will see you in a future video. All right, bye, my loves. All right, hello, my pile number 3s. So just like in our last pick a card, we are doing a little bit of candle intention settings first. And the reason that I chose black candles for this reading is because black is actually the color of protection. And I feel like the world in its entirety could use a lot of protection right now. And so just for a moment while I light this candle, I want you to take this time to envision either yourself, if you need the protection, your family, your community, loved ones, anyone that you feel right now truly needs this. It could be people out there protesting, activists, anyone that you think needs that protection now. I just want you to focus on them. It could be one person or a group. And as I'm lighting this, just really focus on who you feel needs this protection. Envision their auric field actually being encapsulated by a protective bubble. So I'm just going to go ahead and we are going to light this bottom, stick it down. If you didn't know, that's how you get candles to sit straight up. You kind of melt the bottom a little. And I'm just going to go ahead and light this. And from here, I am going to let this burn down on my altar space for all of you to send this protection out into the world. And I am doing this with every pile, so we do have multiple candles going, but I will be putting this on my altar space, and as it burns out all the way on its own, that protection will go out into the universe, and it will aid in putting a protective shield around those individuals. So I just really felt that right now that was the most appropriate blessing that I could offer to all of you. So that's why we did black candles this time. So let's go ahead and get into the reading pile number 3. First and foremost, we do have a spirit animal for you, and that is a horse. So the horse, I am going to be reading a little bit about this from Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals that I will link down below for you. And any decks that I use, I will also link down below for you in the order that they appear. Just if you want to get them for yourselves, you'll be able to. But let's go ahead and read a little bit about the horse just to kind of get the reading started. So the horse corresponds with earth and the colors black, brown, gray, red, white, many colors and patterns. Horse symbolizes loyalty, friendship, trust, and working together. Horse appears when you're feeling confined, restless, and on edge. It means you need to run free, to work out the restlessness through exercise, and to feel the wind in your face. This will bring you back to balance, calm you, and help you work out solutions to any problems you are facing. Independence and freedom are important to you, but you are also willing, giving, and able to bond closely to those who treat you with love and respect. Horse means you're about to embark on a new journey. You may be traveling, or the journey may be a spiritual one where you expand your consciousness of mind, body, and spirit. You have unbelievable stamina and keep going until the job is done. Even if you're tired, you never give up on those you love and on the pursuit of your dreams. Horse means that something you need to take a break from the weight you Horse means that something you need to take a break from the weight you carry to get back in touch with your own inner needs. Horse wants to take things in stride instead of letting fear cause you to be spooked or rebellious. So ultimately what I'm getting from that is, number one, work out through physical activity if you're able to. Go for a walk if you're able to. Get outside if you're able to. And allow the stress, the fear, and I will even say for some of you, the anxiety to really melt off and to allow yourself to be present in the moment. Because even though the present is also, there's a lot going on, at least at the time that this is being recorded, there's a lot going on. You still do need to make time for you. You still need to take time to calm, because the world needs you now in the best form that you can be in. So if the world needs you now in the best way that it can have you, it's really important that you take time to recharge. And I'm going to say this also for those of y'all in the back, being able to rest at this time is a privilege. And I openly admit that. And that's just me speaking, not spirit. Like, it is a privilege right now to be able to rest, but it is also extremely important that we all are doing so in intervals, because there's a lot going on, especially if you are highly empathic or an energy transmuter. It's very important that you take time to be present with yourself and remind yourself of your present surroundings, and, then go back out there and fight the good fight, because we need you. But this is just kind of a totem, if you will, to let you know that you need to kind of blow off some steam. You need to take time out for you and allow others to help you lift that burden. You're not in this alone, is something that I'm really hearing. So the next thing, this reading. Sorry, I haven't looked at any of the cards yet, but we have death. We also have the Knight of Swords, and we also have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Death card here, oh man, this is so symbolic. So this is collectively something that's happening, and it's also happening personally. So the Death card does not symbolize literal death. It can sometimes, but in this case, what we're really talking about is the deep transformation that is happening, whether it is just you, in your communities, in the world around you. There is a deep level of transformation happening, and from that, you have to go through this huge death-like experience in order to be reborn into something new. And I firmly believe right now we are working towards building that new earth. We are working towards building better for ourselves. And like I said, this is individually, this is globally, and seeing this Death card come out, I feel like we are in the thick of this transformation right now. We are in the middle. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of this, and you're in the middle of this, and it feels really scary because we don't know. That's the thing about death, is we don't know what's on the other side of it. We don't know what comes after death. And so it's scary, and it feels heavy, and it can cause a lot of frustration and a lot of fear. But ultimately we need to move towards it, because we have the Knight of Swords here. And so whatever this is for you also personally, you need to move towards it, because the Knight of Swords doesn't sit and wait. Oh my gosh, sorry. One of these candles that's around me, the air just turned off. You guys can't see pile number 1 and pile number 2's candles, but pile number 2's candle is a huge flame, huge, and it's flickering. Some of y'all for pile number 2 probably aren't listening to this right now, but your candle is gigantic. Maybe some of you actually need to go listen to pile number 2 as well, just because I'm realizing that that's happening. But in any case, the Knight of Swords is here to tell us, don't stop, keep going forward, keep pushing, keep going forward and fighting for what you believe is correct and what you believe to be right. Because that's really the Knight of Swords, as I was starting to say. These tableaus are different with these cards, but the Knight of Swords is normally this card that he's just charging forward on his horse. He's not stopping and waiting. He's not looking at something else. He's got his sword in the air and he's going for it. And there's also lightning depicted on this card in particular. And swords also talk a lot about air and communication. So I feel like there's more communicating that needs to be done right now. And that's another reason you're being asked to push aside your fear and to push aside the discomfort and to also get grounded, get centered, and basically become the best warrior that you can be, because we need you. And I keep hearing that. We need you. We need you. We need you. So whoever picked pile number 3, we need you. We also have the Eight of Pentacles here. And the Eight of Pentacles speaks a lot about mastery and basically doing things until you get to this point of mastery. And I feel like with these cards in particular, it's also about creating something that is sacred and special to you. And it's also about using the tools that you have to create better. So for some of you, I think this is using your platforms. For some of you, this is, what are you good at? I feel like that's the question that I'm being asked right now. Spirit's asking me to ask you, what are you good at? Are you good at gardening? Are you good at taking pictures? Are you good at communicating? Are you good at organizing? Are you good? Where is your strength? Because I think a lot of you right now are so scared to say anything or do anything because you don't want to do it wrong, or you don't want to do it and be criticized for it. But I'm here to tell you that, number one, play to your strengths. Do what you can and what you have and play to those strengths. Meaning, you can't be the person that is doing every single little thing. You cannot be the person that is, for example, I'll give you examples for myself because that's what I know. You know, I am somebody who is, I definitely consider myself someone that has the platform. So I have a bajillion platforms. I have like 3 podcasts. I have one of them is completely inactive, but so I have 2 podcasts. I have 2 Twitters, 2 Instagrams, 2 YouTube channels. I have also, I'm working on writing articles now as well and publishing, and I'm writing a book and I'm doing all this stuff, right? I have email lists and I have a lot. Now, right now, if I was going to sit down and try to be active on every single thing all at once, impossible. I wouldn't sleep. There'd be no time for me at all. None. And so instead, I'm asking myself, where can I make the biggest impact right now? And so that's where I'm dedicating my time. I have my gaming channel that is a pretty large platform with almost 200,000 people that follow it. I have this platform, and then I have like my Twitters and my Instagrams is really where I've put a lot of my attention. So I'm not focused on email lists. I'm not focused on 2 of my podcasts at all. I'm not focused on writing pieces. I'm playing to my strengths because I can't be in every single lane at the same time. And I know that I'm one person. And so I feel like that's really what you're being told is play to your strengths, play to what you're good at and you know that you're good at, and go from there. The other thing that I heard is that you have everything that you need. There's no tool that you're missing. You just do it. There's nothing that you're missing. And also, you should expect to be criticized. You should expect for people to come down on you if you are incorrect or if you're wrong. And this goes for anything that you're creating. And I want to be very blunt when I say this to you, that if you're being criticized, that is not the opportunity for you to close shop and to walk away. That is an opportunity for you. You should be grateful when people criticize you, because that is an opportunity to sit with that discomfort, to ask yourself, Why is this coming up? Is it true? Do I need to reassess? Do I need to change something? It is an opportunity, it is an opportunity for you to adjust, to make corrections, to apologize if you've been wrong. There's always room for that. It's growth, and you should expect it. And to be quite honest with you, I've been self-employed myself for coming up on 7 years next month. And if I told you that I had never been criticized once in my entire career and had to stand up, swallow my pride, do the right thing, and make it better, I would be lying to you if I told you I've never done that. It's impossible to avoid because we need to learn and we need to grow. So don't let that paralyzing fear stop you, because you have everything you need to press forward. So the next few cards we have are play. Man, I think y'all are just having a real hard time, because a lot of these cards are saying take a break. And so far in the readings, I don't think I've had any cards like that. So we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And we have Mantalkin or Mintalkin, longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. So I feel like with play, this is again, oh my gosh, there's a cocktail in this picture. I've never noticed that. There's a cocktail glass right here. It reminds me of that Beyonce song, The Naughty Girl. I think that was a Beyonce song back in the day. Tonight, I'll be your naughty girl. No? I want to say in that, or it could have been Mariah Carey. I think it was Beyonce. And I'm pretty sure it was Beyonce. It's been a minute. But she's like in a cocktail glass in the song. Literally like in a cocktail glass swimming around. It's perfect. That's what that reminds me of, because there's a woman right here. But basically, even though it seems right now like that's a really inappropriate time to play and to take a break, and I think I said this in another reading, it is a privilege to be able to step back. It's important that you do, because if you don't, it just leads to a complete breakdown of self. And then you're not able to stand up and spread light and spread yourself and your awareness and the things that you do know and your gifts out there if you are so worn down. So please, 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 please make time. It can be 20 minutes to turn on some music and dance around, move your body, play, have fun. And Montaken with longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers, I feel like a lot of you are potentially wishing right now that things could go back to how they were, that it could just be simpler, that it could just be easier. And I'm here to tell you that that is, at this time, we're in the middle of this transition. You are, personally. You're in the middle of this transition. And so whatever that means for you, this longing for things to go back to how they were when it was easier, right now we're just not in a place where that is even an option. And globally, I don't believe that will ever be an option. We are moving into a new paradigm as a collective. And this longing for something, honestly, I think is a longing for something different, even though it seems like this longing for something familiar, but that will come eventually. But it's not going to be the way that it was before. I think it will actually be better. So I sense there's this great sadness with pile number 3. Things are too heavy for you right now, and you're being asked to still keep going, but make time for you. And we have believe in the impossible with the blue moon. Let me scoot this up a bit. I apologize if this is really washed out. I have a different light set up today and it's not working for me. We also have it's time to take action with the new moon in Aries. Oh my goodness. I say oh my goodness because we have Mars is going to be coming into Aries soon. And it's going to be this way for 5 months out of this year. And Mars is the warrior. Aries is this fiery, passionate, doesn't really think, just kind of does and speaks. And it's kind of an aggressive energy. And that's what we're going to be moving into collectively for about 5 months. So honestly, I'm really shocked that with the state of how things currently are, I'm honestly like so shook that we don't even have Mars in Aries right now, because it feels like that's where we should be, but we're not. It hasn't even happened yet. But with it's time to take action, I feel like you're being asked basically to rest, because the time for action is coming. The time for you to take action on things, to stand up, to create, to do something, to make a difference is coming. And so you need to be ready for that. You need to prepare for that battle and make yourself ready and accessible and open to it and prepared for it, because this time is coming and it's soon. And we also have believe in the impossible with a blue moon. And I think another reason you're being asked to really tend to self right now with everything is, oh man, another one of you guys, I don't know if it was pile number 1 or 2 that had something kind of similar come out, but that belief is what's going to keep you going. That belief in yourself, the belief that things can be different, that belief in the change is what is going to really drive you forward, moving from here. So, don't, like Journey says, don't stop believing. So I've been getting a lot of music coming through for pile number 3 for some reason. That's the second time that's happened already. So maybe, I think some of you really do need to put on like your favorite tunes and just go dance it out. I think that's why music keeps coming out, because nobody else got answers like that. So please go put some music on. This is your call right now. Go put some music on. Dance it out a little bit, get your body moving, get the energy. There's like stale, stagnant energy just floating around inside your body, and you need to get it moving. So get it moving and believe in the impossible. Believe that things can change from here. For you, for the collective, you have to. Hope is what we got. You've got to believe that this can change. This can be different. Your situation that you're struggling with can be different. Just believe. And please do not forget to claim this blessing of protection for your loved ones and for yourself and for those out there. And I do want to ask in closing on this reading, I normally would remind you that, if you want to help support the channel, donate, but please do not donate to me. If you want to donate somewhere, please, please, please donate towards the Black Lives Matter movement. I will put some links and information down below on where you can donate. Please do not donate to me. Please, 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 please donate towards the cause. I love all of you so much. Please play, please have fun, and then get back up and get out there. I love you so much. I will see you in a future video. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 4s. Welcome in. Just as we did our last reading, I want to do some candle intention setting before we get into the reading. I chose only black candles this time because black actually symbolizes protection. And with the way things are in the world right now, I really felt intuitively called and instructed to give every single card pile the blessing of protection. So I want you, as I'm lighting this, to imagine someone that you really love, someone yourself. It could be also family, your community, people that are out being activists or protesting, anyone that you feel like needs protection right now. I want you to envision that person or that group of people. And what I'm going to do is just light this candle. Stand it upright first so it doesn't fall over. And basically, I'm going to light this for you, and I'm going to leave it on my altar space. So when it burns all the way out and down, what that does is that actually sends that intention out into the universe, and our loved ones are going to be receiving that divine protection. So that is what we have here. So please claim that blessing for yourself, for your loved ones. Divine service is there for you, protecting them, protecting you, and putting a shield around all of you. So let's go ahead, And let's get into the reading. So first and foremost, we do have the spirit animal guide of the boar. And for this card in particular, I am going to be reading from Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals. I will be linking this down below for you, as well as any of the cards that you see here in the order that they appear. I will put the decks down below where you can purchase them for yourself if you would like to. But just to kind of get the reading started, I do want to read about this animal totem for you, just to kind of see what message it has for us. And then we will get into the rest of the reading. So boar, you got the boar, and that actually symbolizes earth. Primary colors black and brown. I actually think every single person, every pile actually got a spirit totem that corresponds with earth. So really interesting. We have, when boar appears, it means that you are on the path of personal growth. It holds the mysteries of the natural world, spiritual strength and knowledge, and it brings quick resolution. Boar means you can't be afraid to stand up for yourself, other people, or something you believe in. To do otherwise will inhibit your personal growth. Boar will help you learn from taking a stand and grow in knowledge. Boar encourages you not to hesitate or second guess your intentions. Listen to your instincts and act accordingly. Follow your own rules, think outside the box, and never let anyone tell you that it can't be done. Boar brings out your competitive side, and you're not afraid to take risks to win. If you're feeling down about yourself, Boar can boost your self-esteem and confidence. It assists when you need to calm down or get your anger under control. If you're facing a situation where you need to overcome fear, work through problems, or comfort someone you've been avoiding, Boar can help you handle this with ease. If you're feeling unorganized and out of sorts, Boar can help you get back on track. Boar can help bring closure. So, wow. I feel like every spirit animal was so appropriate for the world right now. Most of it talked about releasing anger or calming down or allowing yourself to find inner peace, but also still going out there and fighting the good fight. So just take that message and know that if you see a boar anywhere, or you see the word or the animal, that is a symbol to you of what this represents. So up next with that, we do have the Nine of Swords, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the King of Wands. Okay, so the Nine of Swords to me says that you are feeling very worried and afraid to say anything, to do anything. You may find that you've been having really vivid nightmares. You may find that you have been not sleeping very well. You've been up late at nights. It's just you feel really unsettled. The Nine of Swords is a very unsettling card. It is somebody who does not have inner peace. And honestly, I'm going to be real blunt with you. Right now, it's really hard to find inner peace. For a lot of us, it is very hard to find inner peace right now. And so know that you're not alone in this. And the reason I say that is because we do have the Three of Pentacles. And if you look, this is actually the same woman, I believe, being depicted here on this card and on this card. And she's on the ground and like hurting, but her friends are right there to pick her up off the ground. So you have people around you that want to help you, that want to lift you up, that want to be there for you. You just need to open that door and let them in. Actually, we have quite a few cards that resemble this, because we also have this King of Wands here, and the King of Wands is holding this woman in his arms, and she looks like she's just not even here. But he's still holding her up. He's carrying her out, He's not going to let her fall down. And I feel like for some of you, this King of Wands could be someone in your life that is trying to lift you up and be there for you. Some of you also may find that you are the archetype of the King of Wands, but you're here to actually carry things out. It's funny because he actually is carrying her out. I don't think I ever realized that looking at this tableau. That's the first time I ever made that connection. He's here to carry out plans, not necessarily brainstorm ideas. So I feel like you are someone that maybe has a lot of weight on your shoulders to even do that right now, but know that you are able to do it, and the people around you also need it. You could be this friend that needs to help these people. You matter. Ultimately, that's like a very big thing that's coming through, is like, you do matter, and people around you need you. They need you to lift them up, and you need them to lift you up. And I'm hearing the phrase oneness. Like, you maybe even want to take some time to study the law of one a little bit more. And if you've never heard that, I would highly encourage you to look into what oneness consciousness is and the law of one, or just oneness in general, and what that means. It's very complicated it's not complicated, but I could spend a lot of time sitting here and explaining it, and it probably still wouldn't make as good of sense as if you read it yourself. But I feel like you're being asked to come together. You're being asked to lift others up and let others lift you up, and to not shy away in fear. Don't cower away in fear, because there is support there for you. And with the King of Wands, I also feel like, gosh, there's been a lot of leadership in the readings today too. Like, more than one pile here today talked about leadership. I think a lot of you are needing, like, a lot of people that feel drawn to this reading in general, this entire pick a card, are people that need to lead groups, that need to lead others into where we are right now in the world, or even just in general in your life, where you need to stand up and just be a leader. We also have, we have align your life. What is not aligned or needs change? And then we also have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So what is not aligned or needs to change? So I love this imagery, because this imagery for align your life, this card really speaks about fragmentation and how we actually become fragmented. Because look at this beautiful woman's face. The image is that of fragmentation, right? So it's very symbolic of picking yourself apart, of breaking yourself into a million pieces to fit someone else's mold, when you actually need to call back those pieces of yourself to become whole again. You are whole. Like, don't get it twisted. You are whole and complete now. You maybe just don't see it right now. And there is energy that is being drained from you, that is going to places where it shouldn't. And you need to, I really feel like I'm hearing this message of, some of you need to cut the cord with some people. Some of you need to cut the energetic cord with some, so that you can take your own power back and that you can reclaim yourself. Because that's really what this image shows to me, is there's a misalignment of self, because there are parts of you that you're holding on to that don't actually align with who you are. And I actually listened to, I'm so glad I listened to that today, because I feel like it's so appropriate to tell you about it. The Isabel Palacios podcast, Taking Back Your Power. She had an episode that went up recently with her and Leor Alexandra, and they actually talked about that, how Leor talked about, as the guest on this podcast, how though she was a faithful person growing up, she needed to discover that she was trying to make herself fit into a religious mold, where she is still spiritual. She still believes a lot of those same things, but the actual organized part of it that she didn't really align with, she had to stop trying to force herself to fit a mold that just was not for her. So, and it may not be religious for you, it could be a lot of things, but just know that there may be areas of your life where you're trying to force something because you think you should be doing it, or you think it's who you think you should be, or what you think is going to bring you success. But in reality, the moment that you let those things go, everything is going to fall perfectly into place. And we also have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So this is why I said Man, I said something really powerful this week to someone and it was totally channeled, and I probably need to check in with them again, but I'm going to reiterate it here that, and I do this myself, so I'm not outing anyone here. I'm just as guilty of this. But so often we want the opinions of everyone around us. You know, oh, is this paper good? Is this idea good? Do you want this idea or do you want that idea? Or, you know, it's constantly asking for opinions from others because we're just so uncertain that the thing that we're trying to do is going to be successful. But I'm here to tell you that all you need to do is figure out what lights you up from the inside out. This is going to be a big message for some of you. You need to focus your intention on what makes you feel so lit up from the inside out that you lose track of time when you are doing it, that you forget to eat, you forget to water the grass, you forget to, you know, do certain things because you're so enraptured in the creative process or in the making of whatever this path is for you. You're so excited and enthralled by it that that's all it is this beautiful creative vision that you can see. That's how you'll know that you're aligned with your own path, that you're aligned with what you're doing, that spirit is, calling you to do this thing. You'll know because you will be so enamored with it that nothing else will even matter at the time. Now I'm going to tell you, as a Taurus myself that loves food, loves to eat, loves to cook, when I'm in the middle of the creative process and I'm so enthralled with what I'm doing, it happens when I'm reading a lot like this, when I'm doing readings, when I'm so enthralled and so taken by what I'm doing, I will forget to eat. I will forget to eat. I'll forget to cook. I'll forget about food. And that for me is like unheard of. And that's how I know that I'm doing what my divine purpose is calling me to do. That's how I know that I'm in the seat of creation and I'm doing things that are in alignment with my highest good. So I feel like that's, for some of you, that's really what you need to be doing, is focusing your energy and your intention on what lights you up. And just remember that if it lights you up for a reason, and you are being divinely supported to do it. So just take that for what it is. And then we also have faith in your dreams with the waxing crescent moon. So that just kind of goes along with what I was saying already. And a time to give rather than to take, new moon in Virgo. So for some of you, you are being called to make something that adds value to others. Ooh, I love this. So from one creator to another, if you're thinking of getting into something creative, I want you to remember that this is going to sound harsh, but please take it with a grain of salt. People will not care about you. People will always care about the value that you can bring them. How is it going to impact them? How is it going to help them? And it's honestly just the way the human mind works. It's not personal. It doesn't mean that you'll never have people in your life that won't care about you. And there will be some people that support your work that genuinely care about you as a person. I'm not trying to say no one will care. But ultimately, it is about the value that you can give to other people. So keep that in mind when you're doing something. People aren't going to necessarily care about, everything that you did that day. I mean, sometimes they do, but in most cases, unless you are giving something back, showing them how they can do this in their day, showing them how they can cook this meal, showing them how they can read for themselves, or giving them a message that you have divined specifically for them, that's adding value to others. So you keep that in mind on the journey and on the process of where you're going and moving forward and what you're creating right now. And have faith in your dreams. Please remember, those of you that were drawn to pile number 4, please remember to have faith in your dreams. If you've had a dream in your heart for as long as you can remember, it's there because you chose it. You wanted so badly to come into this life and experience having that dream come to life. We don't have dreams because we are not meant to see them fulfilled. It is us. We get in our own way of allowing those dreams to come to pass. So please get out of your own way, call back your power, and do the damn thing. And don't forget to stand up, and don't forget to allow others in and allow yourself to be taken care of, but also take care of those around you. The world needs your light. I love you so much. At the end of every reading, normally I remind you all that I have somewhere you can donate to support the channel. But today, my friends, I please want to encourage you, if you feel compelled to donate, if any of these messages spoke to you today, please head to the link down below and support the Black Lives Matter movement. That is the Black Lives Matter movement. That is so much more important than me right now. It is bigger. I mean, always, it will always be more important than me. So please, if you are able, consider donating there. And if you can't donate, please take a look at some of the petitions and just spread awareness. Do what you can, and just do what you can. All right, my loves, go out there and do your thing. And don't forget to claim your blessing of protection. I love you all so much, and I will see you in a future video.